What's going on, guys? Noobs here. It's E3 season, and that means it's time to make some E3 predictions. Just a few ground rules to get us started. First of all, Nintendo said the presentation is going to be on Switch games, so I'm going to run with that premise. I'm going to assume they're not going to throw in any 3DS stuff. I mean, it's Nintendo. They might, but we'll go with that. And then as well, the best way to do E3 predictions, of course, is in the form of a bingo card. So that means I'm going to be doing 24 predictions plus the free space. And then finally, as I like to do, these will be roughly ordered in what I think of as most likely to most implausible. Starting with things that are so obvious they're virtually guaranteed to happen. Starting with, you know it's coming, that Rabidds crossover game. We're super gonna see that finally for realsies. Then I think we will be seeing details on the Breath of the Wild DLC. Specifically, I think we're gonna find out what is in that Pack 2. And then I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna predict that the big hook of the DLC for Pack 2 will be that you're gonna get playable Zelda. It's gonna be kind of a side story involving some of the stuff she was up to. Next prediction, they're gonna waste a bunch of time showing us Splatoon 2, Pokken Tournament Deluxe, and ARMS. All stuff we really don't need to see, but hey, they gotta fill that time, right? Next one, absolute no-brainer. Of course, Mario Odyssey. That game is absolutely going to be their focus this year. So that is obviously in the presentation, and I will predict it will come out this November. We're going to get more on Fire Emblem Warriors. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 they will show again, and then without actually saying the word delay, it will be delayed until 2018, at least in the West. First actual truly new thing here, I'm going to predict a new Animal Crossing game for Switch. It just seems like it's been so long since there was a console Animal Crossing game. They're going to want to do something. They're working on an Animal Crossing mobile game. They're going to want to tie that in. I'm going to call this the last great hope for salvaging all those amiibo I still see being discounted at the game store. I'm going to predict a pathetic sizzle reel of third-party games. It's going to be a bunch of late, watered-down ports of last year's games. You know how this works. I'm going to predict that we're going to finally see a little more of Project Octopath Traveler. That one looked really cool, so I hope we do get to see that. I'm going to predict a sneak peek at No More Heroes 3. That's a bit bold, but man, I can't wait for that, so let's hope. Next, I'm going to predict we're going to get some very basic apps for the Switch, browser, Netflix, YouTube, that kind of thing. They pushed out the account stuff, but I think they're gonna put something in there about kind of online services. So I think that's what we'll be seeing. Next up, Smash 4. I mean, it's just gotta happen. It's gotta happen. I'm figuring they were trying to. The plan would have been to push their paid online this year. I mean, you're already seeing Splatoon and ARMS and Pokken Tournament. I think Smash would have been the crown jewel for all of that stuff, so I think that's still coming and reasonably soon. I'm going to predict the real Pikmin 4 will finally be unveiled. You know it's not just that platformer, at least I hope. I hope we still get real Pikmin games. I'm going to predict that's unveiled. I predict that there will be the unveiling of some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Some people might think, well, that game's already complete. They've already got the DLC in there, but I'm predicting a DLC pack with at least some more battle track courses, plus hopefully some more actual race courses as well. I'm going to predict this will finally be the unveiling of Retro's long-awaited next game, and I'm going to say it will be a brand new IP. I'm going to say it'll be an FPS as well. Next up, I'm predicting Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch from Next Level Games. All they've done in recent years, I think since the last Luigi's Mansion game was, they excavated the corpse of whatever that Metroid, Federation Forces game. So they've got to have something going, right? Pokemon Stars, I'm going to predict that's still a thing and it's still happening and it's going to be on Switch. I'm going to predict that Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, that's what 3DS gets. At the same time, Switch is getting Pokemon Stars. I hope Mario Maker 2, not a port, Straight up sequel, tons of new features, tons of new pieces. I'm going to predict Donkey Kong Country Returns plus Tropical Freeze Combo Pack Deluxe port on Switch. That would be fantastic. I would love that. And here's what I'm picturing. Next prediction. That will lead into a game that's a little further out, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3. Don't worry though, I don't think it'll be made by Retro. I'm thinking Monster Games will be making that one. We need Retro on that big new IP. Alright, these last few predictions, these are pure wishful thinking. There's no chance of these actually happening, but I can hope. I'm going to predict that we see kind of the rebirth of Nintendo sports games, starting with a brand new Wave Race game for Switch. I'm going to predict a true Metroid sequel, 2D, sprite-based, a true, well, I guess it depends on how you count them, but let's call it Metroid 5, I guess it would be. That's what I'm predicting that's going to come. I don't know who's making it, but man, how crazy would people go for that? This is my fantasy game that I've wanted for so long now, ever since I saw Captain Toad, a Super Mario RPG remake based on the Captain Toad engine and graphics. You know, now that they've kind of run the Paper Mario games into the ground and made them not really RPGs, it's time to bring back the true original Mario RPG. So I'm going to say that. And then finally, my last prediction, I'm going to say Virtual Console still exists despite the other online service they're planning. And this will be the one where they go, and it's available right now. So there you go. That's what I'm predicting for the show. I am looking forward to it. I think no matter what, even though I'm sure I won't get half of what I'm hoping for, I think it's still going to be a really solid showing from Nintendo. They've done so well with the Switch so far. They have shown that for once they appear to have actually learned from the mistakes of their past and are actually providing a steady stream of games for their new system. So I'm thinking that's going to continue with a strong showing of new games at E3. Let me know what you guys think. What are your E3 predictions? And how reasonable do you think mine are? Thanks for watching.